Our next speaker is somebody who needs very minimal introduction, but I am going to give an introduction to. Dr. Susan Olszewski, obviously Dr. O. It's funny because when I first started coming to this event, you were one of the first people I met the night of, and couldn't have been more welcoming, more wonderful, and obviously so revered by your peers and the Salus community. She spent nearly 4 decades at the Pennsylvania College of Optometry and Salus University in both clinical and administrative roles. She's considered a pioneer for women in optometry. In fact, how many women were in your graduating class, including you, at PCO? 4. Wow. And how many women now are students?
70-some%.
70-some%. As Dr. Middleman said, she is the reason we are here tonight. She founded the Looking Out for Kids charity and has been integral in raising hundreds of thousands of dollars to support vision care and eyeglasses for children who need them. Obviously, the mission has since expanded to include audiology needs of children in our area who need them. A recipient of many honors and awards herself, including recently in the past few years, the Alumni Association's Special Recognition Award. Tonight, she will present the Lighthouse Award. Please join me in welcoming Dr. O.
Wow, that's some spotlight. First, it's really very nice to be here, and it's really nice to see so many of the people that have continued to support this event. Reed, many thanks to you for being the title sponsor. The faculty, a little shout out to the Pediatric Faculty, those that see the kids at the Eye Institute for vision care at our facility, the faculty at PEI who see the kids in that facility, and especially Dr. Brandy Scombardi, who is the woman who gets on the bus and takes care of these kids in unusual settings. That makes it, in many cases, a little challenging. But she has great help in Kathy and Elisa and Steve, the big red bus driver. It's really a great team. So they need to be acknowledged, and they should be acknowledged. Allow me to just very quickly sort of review, go take a couple steps back in time and to let you know that sort of how this came to be. There was a time in my life when I had a role at the Eye Institute, both as a provider as well as an administrator. And one of the things that we had to do was to ensure that our interns had pediatric experiences. It was important that they had a well-rounded professional experience, and we were in there pitching to get them to see as many kids as we can. And that's when we really reached out. And really, Mike, it's been more than 20 years. It's probably been closer to 30, 35 years that we've been doing this. But it became very clear when we reached out to the School District of Philadelphia that the unmet vision care needs of these kids was dramatic. We did thousands of vision screenings as well as the school nurses, but the definitive vision care just never happened. And it became very clear that somebody had to step up to try to mitigate that issue. And the Eye Institute and the College of Optometry was at least one of the people in the city that did that. It doesn't happen without resources, and that's really when we hatched the Looking Out for Kids charity 13 years ago. We had it, we did it on a shoestring. We had it at the Hafner Center. We had a lot of fun. We didn't make very much money, but it was the seed that really allowed us to grow it into what you see this evening. And every year we do better financially than the last, and that's pretty doggone important. So to all of you who have continued to come back year after year, I'm very appreciative. To the sponsors in particular, way to go. So that's my first shout out. I'm not done, but recall that I'm here to introduce our Lighthouse Award recipient. we started the Lighthouse Award to honor someone in the community that has done exceptional things in support of disadvantaged kids and families in a whole host of ways, whether it's supporting after-school activities, whether it's making sure that kids have a good academic support system, whether they need social services. There's a whole host of things that disadvantaged kids need. And so we wanted to acknowledge someone in the community that has done that, as well as someone who has acknowledged the importance of the Looking Out for Kids initiative. And that's sort of where we are here today. We're here to honor someone who has done just that. The word philanthropy comes from the Greek. Philos meaning love, and anthropos meaning mankind. So philanthropy is the love of mankind. And I would be remiss, I think, in advance of introducing Alan, in not giving a shout out to his parents. My dad always used to say that the acorn never falls far from the tree, and I think that is really true about Alan. His father, Philip, and his mother, Annabelle, were very, very generous with their time, with their talent, and with their treasure to support people who just didn't have as much as they did. They had a very successful business, but they never forgot the people who didn't have quite as much of them. And they spent a lifetime, really, in doing things that could change the lives of families and disadvantaged kids. And Alan, as I said, that acorn didn't fall too far from that tree. Before we, I should also say that in my preparing these words or this little speech about Alan, I have to also, I have come to learn that his brother Frank, his sister Elaine, and his wife Carolyn, they're not all acorns from the Lindy tree, but they all do the kinds of things that we should also, that we all should aspire to do in terms of giving back to the community. So I think a shout out to the entire Lindy tribe, if you will. So I'd like to just take give me another minute or two to go through a list of the things besides the generous support that he's given to Looking Out for Kids. Alan is a fixture in the Philadelphia community in a number of nonprofits, and I want to show you or give you some of the reasons why he is an appropriate recipient of this award. Alan has been a big supporter of after-school activities and specifically involved in something known as the Lindy Scholars at Drexel University. The Lindy Scholars is a collaboration between the Lindy Center of Civic Engagement, which came into existence because of a gift that his father provided to the university, and this college or the School of Education. And these Lindy Scholars, it's a program where undergraduates from Drexel University mentor middle school children in West Philadelphia, and after-school activities and Saturday activities. Again, trying to ensure that the academic preparation for these disadvantaged kids, giving them a leg up and trying to ensure success in whatever they choose to take on. He's also a board member of the Legacy Youth Tennis and Education Center, previously the Arthur Ashe Tennis Center. The mission, or some of the things that this particular nonprofit takes on, is it uses tennis as the primary motivator to deliver programs that provide leadership opportunities for kids and give them life skills that, again, will serve them well. He's a board member of the Urban Affairs Coalition. One of the things that this Urban Affairs Coalition does, again in line with the Lighthouse Award, it provides youth with access to safe havens, education, and creating financial opportunities or work opportunities for them. He is a board member. I don't know, Carolyn, do you ever see him? Because with all of his boards, I know they keep you busy. He's a board member of the Jewish Family and Children's Service. This organization serves people, including the most vulnerable in the community. He's a board member of Federation Housing. Federation Housing helps to try to ensure that low-income or moderately income seniors have a safe place to live, they have activities, and that they can remain in their homes. And I could go, he is a board member of the National Liberty Museum. He's a board member of the Mural Arts Program. And as you know, he has been a steadfast supporter of the Looking Out for Kids charity. So it is for all of those reasons and others that Alan has been selected. I've been really blessed to get to know Alan. He is a gentleman and a gentleman in everything that he does. He's a very worthy recipient. Let me end by giving you a quotation that I love from Pope Francis. A population that does not take care of the elderly and children and youth has no future because it abuses its memory as well as its promise. Now, I don't know, Alan, I don't know what other popely characteristics you have. Maybe none besides what this saying says, but it certainly does ring true. It epitomizes you, and I am just thrilled to be here to give you this award. So thank you so much.
Thank you for such kind words. Susan is also a good friend. Thank you, and especially for your acknowledgement of our parents and their work and their inspiration. Thank you. I guess this year.
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to first acknowledge a couple of people. First, my wife Carolyn is here with it and for her ongoing support. My son Jeremy, who came in from New York. My sister Elaine. And my cousins, my cousin Jeff and his wife Nan, my dear friends, and all the people who joined from our team at Lindy Communities who took the time tonight to share with me, and I'm so honored and so grateful. Thank you so much. I'd like to share a couple words on why this program, I believe, is so important, why I've been so impressed personally with Sal's and the work that they do. We are in a terrific room, in a terrific hotel today. We have amazing food and wonderful people to share the evening with. And at the same time, if we could walk 25 minutes to west, we would be in the exclusive main line, and yet walk 25 minutes to the other side, we'd be living in some rough areas, we'd be in some rough areas of West Philadelphia. This is not meant to be a political statement, but the contrast of the people's lives where we have in Philadelphia, like probably most of you are aware that 25% live in poverty. It has the highest poverty rate and the highest obesity rate of any major city. As my sister Elaine is working so hard with, 2/3 of the public elementary schools in Philadelphia, public elementary schools do not have playgrounds. It's really the challenges that so many people have. It's hard to conceptualize it, and including with how many children, when they're young, go to school without having, not knowing that they need glasses, not knowing that they need hearing aids, and what they experience in that environment with it. So we live in these challenges, and we ask ourselves, how can we make the world, make our environment better than what it is? How can we make a difference with it? And what impresses me with Salis is that it takes its skills, its expertise in vision, in training physicians, in hearing aids, and it says, we have the structure, we have this talent. It's not starting, and we go out and we reach out to those schools that have children who are most in need with it, and really changing their lives when they find out, you know what, they can see a blackboard, they can hear a teacher, they can read much better than, and they didn't know what the problem was. And it's a natural, Salis is a natural institute, an esteemed institute, to provide this type of service because they're using their structure and their talents to best address this question, how can we make a difference? And how can we do it locally, and how we can do it effectively? And for that reason, I have been so honored and so pleased to have this relationship with Salis, and it is on the 100th year. What an honor tonight has been. I wanted to, Dr. Millman, thank you so much for this honor, and for that, with Jackie, who I've known for many years in different groups, and Marcy, and of course, my dear friend Susan. Thank you for coming, and looking forward for the rest of the evening.